What's going on, Knicks fans? We are 2 weeks away from the NBA draft lottery, so let's start speaking it into existence. If you want the Knicks to win the draft lottery, spam number 33 in the comments section. You might have heard of the guy that wore number 33 that was last selected number 1 overall for the New York Knicks. So if you love Patrick Ewing, you love the Knicks, and you want him to win the NBA draft lottery, type number 33 in the comments section. You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and in today's show, we're going to go through what I would call a perfect offseason plan for the New York Knicks. They have a lot of stuff they can accomplish. I actually trust Leon Rose to get it right this offseason. I don't like what they did last offseason by paying a lot of veterans in NBA free agency. I want to take a different approach, trust the youth movement, and make some sporadic move. So to break it down, let's look at what the Knicks have in terms of cap space and some picks. Right now, the Knicks are about $5.5 million over the salary cap and $26.5 million below the luxury tax. So they can create cap space to go and sign players. And actually, they can use the non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which is about $10.3 million. And they also have the biannual exception, which is $4 million. So you can sign 2 solid players with those exceptions. And right now, the Knicks, they own the projected number 12 pick in the NBA draft lottery, and you can get a good player at number 12, but I'm trying to will it into existence that they'll win the draft lottery because I'd love to see Jaden Ivey in New York Knicks blue and orange. But I've got a 5-step plan for the Knicks to be great again, for Leon Rose to bring some respectability back to the Mecca, to make the Knicks a good team and a team to compete in an Eastern Conference that right now is a better conference, in my opinion, than the Western Conference. But first, if you're excited for the NBA offseason, go and like this video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes. Break the record, the channel record in likes. Look, the more likes we get, the better the offseason is going to be. I'm ready for a good Knicks offseason. As a Knicks fan, we need it because last year it was a major disappointment. So if you're ready for the NBA offseason, like this video. Step number 1 in my 5-step plan to make the Knicks great again is free up some cap space. Because right now, like we talked about a couple of minutes ago, they're over the salary cap. So to make a move for a guy like Jalen Brunson or to sign someone maybe like Zach LaVine, maybe we'll talk about him later in the video, they're going to have to trade some players for some picks to clear up some cap space. And these are 5 guys that I could see the Knicks moving on from. I don't think they move on from all 5 of them, but maybe 1 or 2 players from this list. Julius Randle for the 2022 and 2023 NBA season, he's owed $23.7 million. Evan Fournier's owed $18 million. Alec Burks almost $11 million. And Kemba Walker and Nerlens Noel, they're both owed $9 million. If you could trade 2 to 3 players on this list, hopefully Julius Randle, we'll talk about him in a second, you would be sitting in a good position heading in to NBA free agency to restructure this roster and get a good player to make the Knicks more talented and a deeper roster, because right now that's what they need after they missed the playoffs this year. But take the seat of Leon Rose. If you were the general manager for the Knicks, what would be your first offseason move? Would it be trading Julius Randle? Would it be clearing cap space like mine would be? I want to hear from you in the comments section right now. Knicks fans are loud and proud. I love going down and reading the comments section. So let me know down there, what would be the first move you would make this offseason if you were the Knicks general manager? And speaking of the offseason, nobody's going to cover the Knicks like we do here on New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm talking free daily videos around the latest Knicks news, rumors. We're going to cover the hell out of the NBA draft. And when it comes to NBA free agency, we're going to be all over that. So if you love the Knicks and you love the offseason, look, as Knicks fans, it's been more fun to talk and watch the NBA offseason than the regular season in years past. And I promise you it's going to be a blast on this channel. So subscribe. Help us get to 6,000 subs. Go down right now and hit that big red button. Step number 2. I probably should have put this at number 1. We've talked about it time and time again on this channel. It is time for the New York Knicks to move on from Julius Randle. He was a great player in the 2020-2021 NBA season. He was a top 10 MVP candidate. He was the most improved player in the NBA, and he took a major step back this year. Look, when he was a second-team All-NBA player, he averaged 24 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Not many players in the NBA can put up that type of production, especially on how efficient he was. He shot about 46% from the field 2 years ago and 41% from three. That's what made him so great. He was one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. But this year, his three-point percentage dropped by 11 percentage points. His field goal percentage dropped by 4 percentage points. I think it's pretty funny. Last year, he shot 41% from three. This year, he shot 41% from the field. His raw numbers of 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists look good, but it's the efficiency, the attitude, and the way that he represented himself on the court. I mean, look at everything that went wrong for Julius Randle this year, starting from the thumbs down incident when he pretty much told Knicks fans to F off. Then he got in a fight with Rudy Gobert. Then he got in a fight with Cam Johnson, who later in that game hit a 35-foot game-winner bank shot to send the Knicks packing. He also had a career-high 12 technical fouls. He was also texting in post-game press conferences. Then he slapped the laptop out of an assistant coach's hands on the sideline when he was trying to show him film and how to be a better player. He also incurred $163,000 in fines, which rumored that the Knicks paid those fines. So they were babying him while he was not speaking to the media. He also didn't participate in starting lineup announcements on road games. And the one that pisses me off the most, he dressed by himself in the locker room away from everybody else on the team. He wasn't a part of the team. He wasn't bought in. He didn't come into training camp as in the same shape that he did in 2020 compared to 2021. It was just a terrible year for Julius Randle from the start. I'm ready to ship him out. It's best for the Knicks. It's best for RJ Barrett. And it's best for us Knicks fans. So I want to take the pulse of you guys. Do you think Julius Randle should be traded? Do you want him on this roster last year? Does he have talent? Yes. Can he still be a good basketball player? Yes. I just hope it's on a team not called the New York Knicks. But let me know what you think. Type T for trade, or you can go down in the comment section and type K for keep. Step number 3, embrace RJ Barrett as the face of the franchise. Build around him. The 21-year-old superstar, give RJ Barrett a contract extension. He's about to be entering year 4 in the NBA, so he's contract extension eligible, and he's eligible for a 5-year, $180 million extension. That's a lot of cheddar. We'll show you in a second some players last year that signed contract extensions following their rookie years, and we'll compare those to the 5-year, $180 million that RJ Barrett can get. But I think it's important to look at what he's done throughout his NBA career so far in his first 3 seasons. He's gotten better every single year. His first year, he averaged 14 points. His second year, he averaged 18 points. And this year, he averaged 20 points. His efficiency has kind of fluctuated. I mean, in the bubble year where there was no fans in the stands, everybody's shooting numbers were better. That's when RJ Barrett shot 40% from 3 and 44% from the field. But the second half of the 2021 and 2022 NBA season, he was the leader of the team. When you watch the Knicks play, it was to watch RJ Barrett. He averaged 24 points following the All-Star break, and he showed us that he could carry a team and will teams to victory when he had multiple games of 30-plus points. He had a 40-point-plus game, and he had the game-winner 3-point shot against the Boston Celtics. I'm all in on RJ Barrett, but the 5-year, $180 million contract extension, I think that's a little rich for me, even though I'm all about RJ. And when you compare it to the players last year that signed contract extensions coming off their third year in the NBA, Trae Young, he got 5 years, $207 million, and so did Luka Doncic and Michael Porter Jr. That's a lot of money. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he signed a 4-year, $172 million extension, and Jaren Jackson signed a 4-year, $105 million. If I could find a way to get in between the $172 million that Shai got and the $105 million that Jaren Jackson got, that would be a great deal for the Knicks. I want it to be a 5-year deal because we talked about it. RJ is just 21 years old, and I'd like him to hit free agency or be able to up his contract again when he's just 26 years old. So what about a 5-year, let's call it $150 million contract extension? That would be the range that I'm looking to sign him to. I don't think he's worthy of a max contract, and giving him that type of money doesn't benefit the Knicks in the long term. But let me know what you think. Should the Knicks give RJ a max contract, 5 years, $180 million? If you think so, go down in the comment section and type max. Or if you don't think so, you can just go in the comment section and type no max. One thing you should do, though, is go to chatsports.com/starj. Yes, star, and then J on the end, because RJ Barrett, he's a star, and we've got his jerseys on sale. Shout out to today's sponsor, Fanatics. Look, they're $31.99, and they're only going to go up in price as he continues to get better. I'm going to order mine after the show because I'm more of a jersey guy than an actual jersey guy. I'd never wear a button-up with a jersey over the top. That's a weird outfit. But a jersey, I'd do that, and I'll probably rock this one. Chatsports.com/StarJ. I'll put the link to that in the comments and description of the video. Click on it, support RJ, and get yourself an RJ Barrett jersey. Step number 4, make a move for a point guard. I'm trying to speak it into existence that this is the summer the Knicks go out and make a move for a point guard. You know the Cleveland Browns jersey with all 500 names on the back of starting quarterbacks? That's what the Knicks are with point guards, and I'm ready to end that. So they need to go out and make a move for one of these guys. I love Emmanuel Quickley. I think he has the potential to be a starting point guard one day, but I think he's best in a super six-man type of role. But if you can make a move for a guy like Dejounte Murray, Jalen Brunson, Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, or Tyus Jones as a backup to Emmanuel Quickley, they're going to be sitting in a really good spot for the Knicks. If I had to choose one of these guys I could go after, I can't. I'd do 1A Dejounte Murray and 1B Jalen Brunson and Colin Sexton right behind him. The jump shot of Murray concerns me a little bit, but Brunson, he may be asking to be overpaid, and I respect it. Go get your bag because of how well he played in the first round without Luka Doncic. But the Knicks, they'd have to clear salary cap space to make a Jalen Brunson signing work. So I'm down to most likely, in my opinion, I think they should go out and make a move, a trade move for Dejounte Murray. Last step, number 5, re-sign Mitchell Robinson. He's an unrestricted free agent, and right now you can't just afford for him to walk in free agency and get nothing in return. That's why there was trade rumors around Mitchell at the NBA trade deadline. Because, look, there was also rumors that they were nowhere close to a contract extension at that point in time. And if you're sitting there and that's where you are, you're not even close to terms, why don't you trade him for something you can get back in return? But we missed that boat. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and I think the Knicks have to do whatever it takes to get him back. Because when you look at what he's done in the NBA since he entered, I like what he's done. He's a good defensive center. He's a good rim-running big. He's good in the pick and roll. He can catch alley-oops. And he's only really getting better with his game really not maturing that much. He's just growing into the type of player that he's supposed to be, which is a rebounding specialist, protect the rim, and finish easy dunks. That's why he shot 76% from the field last year. It does, I think it hurts the Knicks offense in the fourth quarter when he's on the court because you're essentially just playing 4-on-5. It sucks not having a big man that can stretch the floor a little bit, but he's still young, going to be 24 years old in a couple of months. You got to do whatever it takes because you can't afford to just let him walk in free agency and get nothing back in return. The Knicks roster and the Knicks landscape and point of view, you're not in the camp of just letting good players walk, and that's what Mitchell Robinson is. You need to retain all the good players you can, and if you bring back Mitchell Robinson, that'd be a strong move into making the Knicks a legit contender to make the playoffs next year. Those are my 5 steps, but I want you to grade my plan right now. If I don't get 1 F, I'm going to be upset. I already got an A. My mom told me it was an A. But grade Marshall's 5-step plan to make the Knicks great again. Go down A, B, C, D, or F. I appreciate everyone that's clicked on this video and made New York Knicks Now a part of their day. You're a real one. Give me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'll put the link to my Twitter in the comments and description of this video. Click on it. Give me a follow, and let's talk Knicks hoops over there at @MarshallGreen_.